Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a local church celebrates a huge milestone as it continues to share the gospel with the people of Perry County. And groups of people came out to be a part of the anniversary of the last major Civil War battle in Kentucky's history.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
5:32, it's a Monday, and sadly the weekend is over. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning to you. Let's head over to Letcher County where we find our Brandon Robinson this morning. And Brandon, buddy, you certainly made it cold this morning, so I'm blaming the coldness on you.
Listen, I haven't left the house, so I haven't been outside. I can see the temperatures, but, you know, usually I'm traveling back and forth right now. Hopefully I'll be traveling back and forth tomorrow, Wednesday. Yeah. But, yeah, it's one of those situations where it's a little bit chilly out there this morning, and it's a little bit foggy as well, so be careful of that. As we take a look at our visibility numbers, you see anything less than 5 on this map, which includes Harlan and Middlesboro, is dense fog, but we know there's fog in Hazard, we know there's fog in Pikeville, and we know there's fog in Whitesburg. So you see there the closest sensors to that all showing full visibility. So we're going to keep an eye on that for you and keep you posted. But as Dakota alluded to, it is chilly out there this morning. US 119, US 23 at Jenkins. As we take a live look on the mountain, not a whole lot of action up there, but the fall colors starting to come in there just a little bit. Looking forward to seeing some more pictures of those here in the coming days. 30 in Clintwood, 42 in Jackson. That is our range with most folks in the 30s this morning and low to mid 30s at that. Statewide temperatures and region-wide temperatures, 41 in Carbondale, Illinois, and Paducah, Kentucky, also Clarksville, Tennessee, and then you see 37 Lexington, 40 across the river in Cincinnati, 39 in the Tri-Cities, and 35 in Charleston, West Virginia. Your breakfast forecast as we head out the door this morning, we're going to be seeing some cool temperatures that are going to continue to cool off there as we head deeper into your morning there, and we'll continue to see that trend for a little while into the afternoon hours before we start to warm up. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, 2 men are dead after an ATV crash in Campbell County, Tennessee, Saturday evening. The men were traveling in a Polaris Razor ATV on Old Highway 63. The ATV hit a concrete train trestle and started to spin out of control. Both passengers were thrown from the ATV and died from their injuries. They were identified as 22-year-old Jonathan Newport of Oneida, Tennessee, and 22-year-old Garrett Baird of Pine Knot, Kentucky. Community members across Logan in Logan County, West Virginia, are working to get rid of an unwanted look. After vandals graffitied at least 6 locations in the city late in the week, our sister station, WSAZ, blurred the photos, but vulgar images and words were spray painted all around the properties. The Logan Church of the Nazarene quickly cleaned up the paint on its building after nearby businesses noticed the damage Friday.
Let's face it, all of us go through issues, all of us go through difficulties, all of us act out at times when we may not normally do it. I know in my past I have some things that folks had to forgive me for, so I do the same thing. And our Lord teaches us to forgive. He forgave us. So it's important that I forgive you.
Well, Reverend Russell Carson says his church's teachings have gotten him over the last few days, hoping the vandals have learned from what they've done. A nonprofit is asking for donations after losing a load of donations in a crash. Jackie and Michael Young run Jesus Feeds Kentucky. The organization based in Wolfe County feeds nearly 400 people per week. During the weekend, its semi-truck lost a tire and flipped over on I-75. People with the nonprofit were delivering yogurt to churches around the state. They are now down to 1 truck to deliver food and supplies.
I mean, we won't stop, but this was a setback. That yogurt could have fed a lot of people. But, I mean, the next load will come.
Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt in the crash. Members of the group are still looking to raise money for their mission. As many congregations gathered Sunday morning to worship, one Perry County church gathered to share the gospel and celebrate a big milestone. Our Alyssa Williams was there at Peachtree Memorial Baptist Church as it celebrated its 100th birthday.
Many members of Peachtree Memorial Baptist in the Walkertown area of Perry County would describe the church as a beacon on the hill.
This is one of the most terrific churches I've ever been involved in. But to be with them twice is really outstanding. But to be here for this celebration is even more exciting.
On Sunday, former and current church members gathered to celebrate Peachtree Memorial's 100th birthday.
We've eaten, and we're going to eat again. We had a cookout last night under the big tent, and we had the Cornerstone music, which was awesome. And today we're going to have their former pastors give a sermon, and then we're going to have a big catered meal afterwards.
The church's current pastor, Sam Stacy, says he attributes the church's longevity to its ability to accept change.
I think it's the family atmosphere, being able to relate to the community, be able to change as society has changed, because church services today is nothing like they were 100 years ago.
Lifelong member Terry Feltner says the congregation's commitment and love for Christ has also helped them to withstand the test of time.
I just think it's amazing that a church can sustain everything that goes on in this world for 100 years. So I'm very blessed, and I feel like God has blessed our church to be able to still witness to people in the community and be a lighthouse on this hill for 100 years.
Hoping to continue serving God for the next 100 years and beyond. In Hazard, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Peachtree Memorial Baptist was constituted as a church by A.S. Peachtree in 1924. The building that it is used for worship services was built in 1949, with the fellowship hall being built 45 years later in 1994. Well, this past weekend marked the 160th anniversary of the Battle of Perryville. This was the largest and last major battle of the Civil War held in Kentucky, leaving the state under Union control. The American Battlefield Trust said the Battle of Perryville site is one of the most preserved and intact battlefields in the United States today. And during the weekend, thousands of people came out to experience history.
To commemorate the day of when it actually happened is so rare. Plus, the reason why the reenactors like it is because we're actually reenacting on the actual site where this battle happened. There's not a lot of places you can do that anymore. Cool, I know some of you will say, oh, a little chilly, but when we're wearing wool, it's perfect weather for us. So, yeah, the crowds have been absolutely phenomenal.
More than 1,300 reenactors came to the battle from across the country. 1.3 billion honey buns are made each year at Flowers Bakery in London. And to make things even sweeter, those with London Downtown and London Tourism hosted its first ever Honey Bun Day on Saturday to celebrate the dessert. The Honey Bun Day festivities consisted of food trucks, small business vendors, and of course several honey bun related dishes. Event organizers say they wanted to combine their annual cider night event with the special and sweet day to make fall taste even better.
Whenever we came up with the idea last year to celebrate the honey bun in a small way with cider night, and this year we decided just to go big and blow it out and make it Honey Bun Day. So it's going to be a Honey Bun Day holiday every year in London.
London Downtown Executive Director Julie Ray says she plans to partner with the mayor and city council to create a proclamation claiming the first Saturday of October to be Honey Bun Day. Well, the Honey Bun Day celebration wasn't the only thing to take off in London on Saturday. The London Corbin Airport held an Air Expo offering food vendors, inflatables, and even airplane rides. The airport showcased vintage aircraft, several local planes, and a Skyrider among other aircraft. The event was the airport's first Air Expo since before the pandemic.
We want to do bigger and better. The last couple have been mostly just static displays and maybe one airplane that came out of a museum or something. So we decided that post-COVID we needed to do something bigger and better, and maybe we use this for a building block.
London Corbin Airport Manager Matthew Singer says although there were a few hiccups before the event, he could not have asked for better weather or such a good turnout. Well, just ahead this morning, a legend in the world of rock and roll partners up with a makeup company to unveil a spooky line of cosmetics just in time for the Halloween season.
We always like it when folks say that they appreciate the forecast. So do we. We see again some fog this morning, give way some warmer conditions this afternoon. I'll take you to Pikeville and beyond here in about 3 minutes.